I sincerely appreciate your willingness to watch and listen to my videos. Today's is entitled Packaged and Predictable. So go ahead and continue watching while I take care of some business. It's February 13th, 2024. I'm out at Buffalo River State Park, trying to stay a little bit out of the wind to make this recording, but it should be prime time for some snowshoeing. Early February, sun's a little brighter, things are a little better, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the terrain so you can get a look at how much snow we've been having this winter. Yes, we have snow, but if you look around, you can see a lot of open grass. Our snow has been minimal this year, and when you think about getting out and enjoying winter sports, this just hasn't been a good year. It hasn't been predictable, it hasn't been nice, and it just isn't conducive. It's the first time that I've taken my snowshoes out all winter. I took them off the storage area in the garage just to bring them out here. I have no intention of using them. You can see there's some foot tracks and somebody probably did a little skiing, but for the most part, there's no reason to use snowshoes when you can just walk around with some good shoes. But all of this gets rather frustrating. You want what's normal, you want what's predictable, so you can plan, and maybe you want to say that's the way it's supposed to be, but it isn't this year. Will it be next year? Hard to say. I think part of the human condition is that we like to have things predictable, packaged, easy to take and understand so that we can meander through life with, if you want to say, a little less worry and a little less insecurity. We even get that today in that we like prepackaged, predictable, grab and go food that, we know is going to be good, at least good enough, and we don't have to think about it. We don't have to prepare it. It seems as if there's other aspects of our life that we don't like to think about as well. If we can have some little phrases, or maybe, as you're going to see, a little 3-word sort of, phrase, it kind of grabs and goes in our understanding of life. While the alliteration of God, guts, and guns is kind of snappy and catchy, I think it also is very predictable. It's very packaged. It's very much a statement without really saying much. I also think it's kind of ironic if you look at the first word, God, and then you look at those are the things that made us strong, that the people who first came to this country, who settled and established the colonies, did so, for the most part, for religious liberty. They were tired of state-run religion, of somebody telling them what to do and how to believe, and this is the right way to think. And yet, that sort of phraseology on a sticker on a vehicle, even though it's my kind of understanding of what it says, becomes very much predictable, established, that this God is a somewhat dynamic, older white male who hands out rules and regulations, and if they're followed, everything will be good. And if life isn't good, or if there are disruptions, it's obviously the fault of those who don't believe the same way, those who don't abide by the same rules, that if we can only get people to get back to the way it used to be, we'll be great again. Kind of ironic, I think, that at this stage of our lives, or our lives of our country, we're worried about getting back to structure, to predictability, to things that are easily packaged, instead of just kind of thinking. Underneath that sticker is another one for a radio station, 97.9, and I'm going to read a little bit about who they are. The call letters for Life 97.9 is KFNW. It's a media ministry from the University of Northwestern in St. Paul, Minnesota. And on the Chamber of Commerce for Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, on their webpage, where Life 97.9 gets to put a little advertisement, here's what it says. Life 97.9 exists to lead people to Christ and nurture believers in their spiritual growth through Christ-centered media. Whether you're a mom getting your children out the door each morning, a dad heading home from work, or any other member of the family, we're here for you. At Life 97.9, we promise to always be family friendly. Sounds like they know what family is. Mom helping the kids get out the door in the morning, dad working hard and coming home from work, and children. So does that exclude children who get themselves ready and out the door in the morning? Does that exclude women who work or single people? Yeah, this idea neatly packaged of what family is. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but when we package it so tightly, it becomes exclusive. You either are buying into the whole package, or you're not part of the package. Where in that does there come curiosity, adaptability, dealing with what is, instead of being angry because this isn't the way it's supposed to be? So are we free if indeed we are fearful of those who think differently than we do, of those who maybe have different belief systems than we do, those who maybe see life differently than we do? Freedom? I think the definition is broader than sometimes our packaged and predetermined ideas tend to be. In a 1986 movie called Heartbreak Ridge, Clint Eastwood starred in it. It was a movie about adaptability. He was working with people who weren't geared for military service. And one of the phrases that continued to be shared had 3 words in it: improvise, adapt, and overcome. It's the creativity. It's the opportunity to think and adapt and adjust, which allows us to make progress in a changing world. Improvise, adapt, adjust. Pretty powerful words. Another pair of snowshoes here, a little different than the ones I showed you earlier. One of the things about these snowshoes is they're made out of foam, and they're bendable, and they're light, and there's not a lot of grip on the bottom, but it's perfect for these kind of conditions of little snowfall or little snow depth. But these snowshoes actually have been used as well in sandy conditions. People use them on sand dunes and train as they're running on beaches. Are they the aluminum framed ones like the beginning? No, but they have some of the same form and the same purpose. They've been adapted. When we look at life, when we look at what's going on around us, yes, it's kind of nice at times to have things that are packaged and predictable, but that's not realistic, because that is excluding, that is stopping creativity, that is not adaptable to the situations of today. So I think it's important in all stages of life and in all matters of things to look about being adaptable. We don't need cute little phrases. We don't need to hearken back to the good old days, but we can look at what kind of worked in the past, use the skeletons, adapt it, see what works for today to make life inclusive and meaningful, and hopefully to promote that kind of activity for generations to come. Once again, thank you for listening and for watching.